So this is part 2 of the data cleaning for FreezerPro instructions. So today we're going to go over looking at different types of data and kind of different types of documentation issues and kind of what we should be looking for, as well as how to make the queries and the procedures. So first of all, this is a simple checklist of the data cleaning instructions. Part 2, sample report reviews and queries. So this is basically a guideline to kind of help you as you are examining, looking for errors, kind of, general review. You should look for things as, issues in names, mistypes like accidental errors, spaces, random characters, special characters, things like that, as well as we're going to be validating blank fields and kind of validating volumes and mismatches. I will show you in the second half, once I pull up the data set, I'll show you with kind of a case study. So let's do South Africa. Let's do Excel freezers, Excel. Okay, so just an overview of this data set. This is freezers for all samples. So basically it has all the samples in it. Some reports probably have, let's say, 1 or 2 types, but this one includes basically everything. You can see there's UID, name, description, sample type, vials volume, owner, creation, expiration PID, initial volume, unit, freeze date. Oh, this is an error immediately. Stored by, which should be initials, comments, alcohol ID if it pertains, and this is another initial volume column. You can enter in both. People, you can enter in both. It's basically the same column, and we kind of want to avoid this part for the storage information. And for the left, queries, DOMC, site comments, and then reviews after these comments are made. Kind of, oh, did we review it? Any additional comments and dates, initials of who made this. So to start off, this is a very big data set. So we're gonna examine based on the type of samples. So let's do MTB isolate since I do see an error already. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, MTB. Oh my gosh, MTB isolate. So, first thing, a procedure is looking for blanks. Make sure if your file doesn't have it, you can do a filter, add, remove filters. Okay, filters. And what I usually like to do is I freeze the top pane. So every time I scroll, I can still see the columns, so I know what I'm looking at. So first thing you want to do is look for blanks. No blanks here. Anything out of the blue. Oh, it's not showing. Yeah, anything out of the blue, MTB, GT. Okay. Vials are okay. Volumes, there are no blanks, no zeros. This is filled. Seems all right. PID, any random blanks, extra dashes, weird things. Okay. Initial volume is also good. Unit, nothing strange. And yeah, stored by, you see the name Judy. Technically stored by should be initials. It should not be someone's first name, so that's an error you immediately should highlight. Highlight it. And then on the column, you just put please Correct. Stored. And then today's date is 30th. And since all these are the same issues, I'm just basically going to drag. Make sure they align. Okay, perfect. And everything seems fine. So what we're going to do next is kind of validating whether the volumes match. So for my shortcut, since they're using this column, I'm going to temporarily add another column, adding asterisks to reminder for me to delete it when I'm done. Formulas if volume is less than or greater than, basically not equal this. You put X, or you leave it as blank if it's okay and equal to each other. And what I do is basically double click so it drags automatically. Is it dragged? Perfect. And then I just press this. There are no X's, so that means all the volumes are equal. So next, what I'm going to check for is, whether the freeze date is incorrect. Freeze dates should always be after creation dates. Some people do mistake the two different columns, or they type something by accident, like a different year, a different date. So we're just going to confirm freeze date. If the freeze date is before creation date, you add X, not you add this. And I drag at the same time. Oh. Okay, I guess I can't drag in this. And then I check again to see, is there anything wrong? No X's. Okay, we're perfect. In this case, we're just going to delete. And one more thing I usually do sometimes is for PID, text filters, for some columns, what I do is if it contains a space. Sometimes, for some reason, spaces won't show if you click on the filter. So I do this as a measure just to make sure everything. Nothing contains spaces. We're good. This one's a little funky though. Okay, so this one does have a space. I'm not really sure why it didn't review it. That's a bit strange. It worked last time. Maybe it has to be a character. Okay, well, this one has an issue. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit strange why it's not showing up. 1183. A little strange. But yeah, it does make sense why it's a bit strange, because if you do like alphabetical or like order size, this is first, which makes 0 sense. So we're gonna highlight that and also add and remove so we're gonna look at another section. Let's do whole blood PAX gene RNA. You can see, oh, why is it not? Oh, because I accidentally did this. PAX gene RNA, let's do the same thing, look for blanks. Nothing seems out of blue. It's a bit like chronological order, description. Okay. And always too, whenever names should always start with 1, 2. It should always start with 1. If it starts with like 2 out of nowhere, then I would highlight and say like, please confirm the name. Files are good. Volumes, they're good. Nothing seems wrong. Initial volume seems good. And yeah, units are filled. So we're going to do the same thing. Confirm volumes. Just do here. Volume greater than, oh. You drag it. Okay, there's an X. I would highlight it and say, "30, same thing. Sorry. And then be sure to here and date. Freeze date is less. I'm not sure why. Okay, so it's inputted properly. And then go up and do the same thing, filter for X's. And these all have freeze dates before creation dates, which doesn't make sense at all because you should have a sample created before you freeze it. So what I'm going to do is highlight this, say freeze date, freeze correct, freeze. They drag. Make sure the dates are the same when you drag them as well. And yeah, perfect. Delete the column. So I'm just going to give other examples of data sets I've been working on. Moldova, for instance. So in this situation, this file only has sputum raw compared to the other one, which had all the samples in the reports. You can see here, stored by initials are basically empty, which should be included, and with the naming structure as well, aliquot ID. Name is fine, but you can see here that it's 1 to 8, but then the second one, S2 plus S3 raw, starts with 2 and then goes to 9. If you keep scrolling down, it's usually 1 to 8, so I highlight it to make sure that this is, whether this is an issue or not. And the next one here, 1, and there's 14, 15, 16, which is not sequential. And by looking at this, it might be a typo. 1, 2, 3, this would have been 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, something like that. Like this is very out of blue. And then continues 10 to 16, 13 to 16. It highlighted just in case. And for this volume, since initial volume can never be 0, I highlighted and made a comment right here. And so for this too, another note of why I want to look at this specifically, looking at the creation date, if you scroll down, the date is 2023, which makes no sense because it's still 2022 right now. And you looking at it, it's kind of like sequential, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this might be a manual error, a drag and drop error. And it kind of starts around here. So in this situation, you'd also make a note like, oh, please confirm the creation date, and kind of explain why. And just as a review, I'm not sure. So yeah, so this basically kind of has the information as well as what to look for, what fields should be filled out depending on the studies. And once you're done making the comments, always remember to save and remove those extra filters. And yeah, make sure to put in the cleaning log the date you cleaned it, finished cleaning, your initials, as well as did you send it to site. And that's pretty much it.